Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever this video may find you. It is I, as always, Gavin.
And I'm Justin.
And you join us here on Antelope Island in Justin's rental, which is a B9 A4 from Audi's silver car.
Identical to the one that I reviewed last year.
Yeah, not doing this car for a review so much. This is actually going to be your road trip car for the next couple days or so.
Yep.
But we are here on the island to review cars that are not this, but very different, actually, and unique. The opposite of this.
Yeah, they are both roadsters, both of the same make and model, just about 35 years apart.
Just about, yes. 1982 Fiat 124 Spider.
And Fiat 124 Abarth.
Yes. Third time's the charm, eh? I'll get rolling first. Before it fucking dies.
Yep.
So, rewind back to 1982, and you will find yourself in a Fiat 124 Spider. This one is the 2-liter with the 5-speed manual. So, 1982 is actually the last year that they made these under Fiat. They made just north of 100 horsepower. They're like 110 horsepower.
But this one is bored out a little bit and has a cam. So, although we don't know exactly how much it's making, we estimate like 125, 130 horsepower, somewhere in that range.
Yeah.
But it makes great noises.
Oh my, here, let me downshift. I'll go down one more. And let off.
The little snarls.
Great. Shifter feel is fantastic. It's mechanical. You can feel it directly.
Same with the steering.
Steering feel is a masterclass in how steering feel should be.
Yes, nice and solid. I mean, granted, this is completely mechanical, not power assisted whatsoever.
Nothing.
But that's what makes it great. Because even when you're going fast like this, it's tight. It's real tight.
It's tight. You feel, when you're actually going at an enthusiastic pace, you kind of feel like a man's man in a way.
You gotta kind of throw it in there and
you have to really command it. I mean,
anyways, all of the pedals are super responsive too.
Pedals, they're responsive, they're very mechanical. It's not like anything that's contemporary, though.
No, it's not.
It's not at all like the newer Miatas or BRZs or S2000s. It's a very mechanical and engaging experience, which is why people still love and drive these cars and love them very much.
And, you know, for how old this car's original on as far as exterior-wise is concerned, except for the wheels, and it looks gorgeous.
I love the cream paint on it.
I'm kind of indifferent. I see the aesthetic. It's not my thing, but it does look good.
It tickles my fancy.
I know it does.
Yes.
And, you know, it's worn pretty well. It has 158,000 miles, and, you know.
No real hiccups.
No real hiccups. It doesn't like the cold much, but it's an Italian car. And the 40 degrees we're in right now is cold for an Italian car.
Yeah, I should probably put my hood up or something.
I also did note when Gavin first drove over in it, it does technically have rear seats.
So it's a bit of hyperbole when other people have commented on Porsche 911 seats saying you have to cut your legs off. You actually have to cut your legs off. Yes. Jinx, you owe me a soda.
Fine. You literally could not fit back there. I couldn't fit my, 4-year-old sibling back there.
No, you have to literally not have legs in order to fit back there, which is fine. I mean, those are actual insurance seats.
Yes, they are. Either way, car is, fantastic, and with the little things that are done to it, with the mini light wheels, with the stickier tires, it looks fantastic, and it improves the car so much, because this probably came with 135s from factory.
Maybe. Yeah,
and these are probably 205s, and it makes a hell of a difference.
I mean, it's not like you just went with some vintage tires.
No, like, these are actual performance tires, which some people are pissed about because they are square. However, they function so good.
They're amazing. I would actually love to know what it's like to autocross this.
It would be.
Because it's all low speed shit. Like road course, like UMC, like that's one thing.
Yeah.
Autocross in one of these.
This would be a hell of an autocross thing.
My
just
God.
to behold.
Oh, it's so great.
Yeah. And all the, the gauges are great. It's everything just works surprisingly. It does have an aftermarket radio, but who knows, that probably was the first thing to go. It's an Italian car after all.
Yeah.
It does have a fuel pump switch, which is another Italian afterthought.
It's cool though. Like
Yeah.
you get in, it's like, you know,
Firing it up an aircraft.
Pre-flight checks.
But yeah, designed by Pininfarina. We haven't mentioned that yet. The body was a Pininfarina body in this area.
Yep.
Oh man, and everything works, and it just.
It's great just to drive an Italian car where things just work.
Exactly, because that's not very often.
It's not. No, worry-free, and it's a 5-speed manual.
Yeah.
It's not like it's a really crazy long 4-speed.
Or an auto. Heaven forbid.
The auto was a 3-speed.
Yeah. Heaven forbid how dog that would be.
Pass. Real hard pass on that one.
Yeah.
But this is a manual gearbox that I can totally see summer dailying.
And this isn't even, you know, as far as this manual and clutch is concerned, this isn't even like...
It's easy.
Yeah, it's super easy. It's not like the, you know, classic stereotype, oh, they're hard and everything's stiff. Yeah, the clutch is stiff. Yeah, it has a little kick. But it's linear, though.
It's very linear. It's a little vague up top of where the actual catch point is.
Yep.
But that's fine.
Yeah.
That's part of this, not the novelty of driving this car. You have to learn it.
Yep. But that's it about the learning curve. Everything else is relatively normal.
Yeah.
And yeah, I could totally see, you know, somebody in a sunny environment daily driving one of these.
Oh, actually, if you lived in like San Diego and had one of these, that would be delightful.
That would
yes.
be mint. But, you know, when we think about comparing it to the new one that we'll drive next on camera,
The Fiat.
the Fiat, I mean, despite the fact they share a badge and a name, they honestly couldn't be more different. But there's a lot of that that's just down to the fact that the Fiat, the Miata, and any newer contemporary car that's a comparison to this cannot exist in the way this did.
And you will find out why after we get done driving this. But yeah, I would absolutely recommend anybody that's interested in getting one of these, you absolutely should. I am currently not aware of any actual mechanical niggles that come along with owning these cars.
It's typical old car things.
Just typical
Rubber, gas lines, you know, like tuning, etc. Lots of small stuff.
Yeah, so we are in Antelope Island, which is in Syracuse, Utah. It's north of Salt Lake by about 35 minutes or so. I picked this car up this morning and will have to return it later this evening in Draper.
And it did great.
It did fantastic. So most of my experience with this car has been in a commute type scenario.
Yeah.
With that being said, it was perfectly fine, with the exception of slight tire rub and no power steering.
Yep.
Yeah, no, it's a fantastic just little runabout. The trunk space is actually really not bad.
Yeah.
It has enough power to get out of its own way.
Actually, that's what the rear seats are for. That adds to your luggage space. Those aren't seats. Literally.
No, you store your passengers in the trunk, actually, yes.
Yeah. Yep, Italian mobster style.
Yes. I mean, what are your resolving thoughts?
Resolving thoughts? I mean, honestly, just because I'm me, I would have this. It's got so much more character. You can get it for so much cheaper. There's a lot.
What can you get these for?
Anywhere from, I mean, a really beat one, you're talking $3,000.
Okay.
But, you know, you're talking like a nice one like this, probably
Like
anywhere from 5 to 12, depending on if it's like super original, low miles, etc.
Cool.
A super mint one will go for 20, 25, you know.
Okay.
But that's like 30,000 miles, original paint, never been repainted, never been in an accident, all documents. The typical bring a trailer type thing. Yeah. But, you know, if you can pick one of these up for $5,000 as like an entry-level tinker car, oh my God, it's perfect.
Yeah.
Because just like all the old cars of this vintage, whether you get this, an Alfa Romeo Spider, or like an MG of this era, you're going to be working on any of those. You're going to be spending money on parts.
And that's part of the enjoyment, that's part of why you go after that car in particular.
You get attached to it. You get to actually mess around with it and fix it and make it what you want.
Because these cars are like the people that own them.
Yeah.
Imperfect.
Yeah. Yeah. And you get to deal with that and you get to figure out how to make it better.
Yeah.
And that's the fun of it. It's an adventure.
Also, I love this big steering wheel.
I love that steering wheel.
You get to like really grip it and just rip it.
Yep, grip it and rip it.
Yeah.
Anyways, now onto the new car.
All right, cool. That was slick.
Yeah.
Woo. Woo. Spinny boy.
Yeah, it has a turbo.
Yeah, so it's like what, 180 60 horsepower.
Yep.
164 horsepower from a 1.6 turbo. Same motor that's actually in that 500 Abarth that we drove.
Yep, sadly not as loud.
Yes, but the power goes to the proper wheels this time.
Back to the back.
Yes, sir. And that is via a 6-speed automatic. And for an automatic,
it's not bad.
It's pretty all right. It's
quick. It's responsive.
It rev matches on downshift.
Yep. Even going down the hill just back there, it even downshifted to keep me at speed.
Yep.
Not bad, and it does what you want it to do.
It is snappier when you are in sport mode, which I will give it that.
Yes, it is. I mean, because I can put my foot down right here and pretty,
Yeah.
about what you expect for a basic sports car automatic. So this one is a basic trim. They all come with heated seats. This comes with the Alcantara centers.
Yes.
And, the Abarth steering wheel, the red gauges. Go ahead.
Let's talk about how this drives.
Should we just bring out the elephant in the room? Because I know it's something you want to talk about.
It's a turbo Miata.
It is.
It just is.
It drives like a Miata because it is fundamentally Miata with body change, engine change, and slight suspension change.
Ever so slight.
Ever so slight.
It still drives just like an ND. Both of the three ND ones that I've driven, the suspension and handling characteristics are the same.
Yep. And there's not a problem with that. I think a lot of people are going to argue, it's not Italian. Yeah, it's technically not. It was literally made in Hiroshima, just like the rest of the Mazda plants.
Think that's a bad thing, though. Saying something drives like a Miata shouldn't be
a downside.
No, it shouldn't be talking down to it. If anything, that should be a point towards it. Because imagine if Fiat didn't save the money and go to Mazda, like how Toyota did with BMW.
Yeah.
Had they not done that and had they tried to make their own sports car again, what would that be like? Honestly.
Probably great, but probably problematic.
I feel like it would be a real handful and probably less inspiring to drive than this is.
Yeah, I mean, so in reality, Gavin was joking earlier as he was kind of designing what he wanted to say with this. It's, as I kind of combined all the terms, it's an Italian-Americanese car.
Yeah.
Because it is a Mopar product. It has a Mopar product sticker on the windshield.
It literally does, actually.
And it was bodied in, we'll call it bodied in Italia. It's designed as far as what the aesthetics are like, and then made in Japan.
Well, I mean, the old one was designed by Pininfarina.
Yeah.
So they definitely took cues from the first generation car.
Yeah, so
the headlights, the taillights,
the hood bulges.
Hood bulges.
Yep. I mean, even to a degree, the wheels. Now, the old 124 they have, the 82, isn't on stock wheels or anything, but there's so many little things that they obviously drew inspiration from.
Yeah.
And they all worked. I mean, for a while there, I was considering purchasing one of these.
You definitely were.
Because they're so fun, and they're not that bad, because you can get an Abarth like this starting at $27,000, and with every single damn option ticked, it's $32,000.
Which is where the Miata is.
Exactly. It's no more expensive, just a little different flavor on the same car is the way I look at it.
So, and to split this and the ND Miata, this is really more for someone that doesn't necessarily care about a focused sports car.
Yeah.
This is more for someone who's cross-shopping with, imagine if Chrysler still made the Crossfire.
Yeah.
It's that similar kind of person.
Yep, or when Mercedes made the SLK 230, the very entry level.
This is a budget SLK.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas the ND2 Miata and the ND1 is more as a competitor, as a convertible version of, say, a BRZ. Similar buyer in that case.
Yep. And so, I think both of us, what would happen here, if I was in the market for a drop-top sports car in that price range, I know you would choose the ND. I'd probably choose this.
I'd want to drive the ND2, though, because I haven't driven one. It's got the new motor.
Yep, and so that'll probably make a difference. But
huge difference from what I've been told.
I prefer this because I like the turbo and I like the
But see,
the
I come from turbo cars too, but I don't like this as much.
Yeah.
This seems like cheating.
A little bit, because actually here's the other thing, that the only real reason this has an advantage over a Miata is the fact you can tune it. So it's easier to gain more power out of this than a Miata.
Yeah.
Now, that's if that's what you're going for. If you're going for straight track focus, you'd probably be better sticking with an ND2 with the newer motor, dropping some money on suspension and brakes and tires, and calling it a day.
Yep.
But, the reality is, I think because of their changes to this, I actually think this potentially might ride a little better on the road. I think the suspension's a little softer.
This not really.
Not really?
No,
Okay.
the suspension in the ND, especially not the Club Sport, but like the GT one,
Yeah.
the launch edition, was very, very soft.
But either way, dynamically, it's great. Steering feels identical as far as you've driven both. You can attest it does feel identical, and it feels good. You know, it's not over-assisted.
But this still drives like the chassis. It drives like a Miata, and it's something that's hard to explain to someone that hasn't driven a Miata in any of the variants, NA through ND.
Yep.
But the turn-in is still crisp. The back end also has lean, because there are cars at the front end just like tilts in and like leans. But Miatas have rear end tilt and settle and lean, and it just hooks up and it dances around and it plays around, and it's still a fun car. This isn't the track focused sports car. This is not trying to be. I don't think it's trying to be a Miata.
As we've explained in various different ways, it is effectively very similar to the Miata with the obvious differences. And this car has already been reviewed through the roof, so.
It has been reviewed through the roof, but it hasn't always been driven back to back with the old car. So my question is, has FCA done
justice?
Has it done justice to the old car?
Yeah, because that one,
do you think it has? Because we've both driven both now.
I think they have, but.
Working in today's confines, they took the best platform to revive the 124 moniker with.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You are never going to get in a modern production car way the same feel that you would in those old cars like that.
They had to go this route.
Yeah, because legislation will not allow you, and not just in the US, but in any country. There's so many more rules that they have to follow. Those cars in their current form, in the way they feel, cannot exist anymore.
Well, and the bones for this car, and I kept on saying this a number of times throughout the day today, the bones here are good.
Yes.
This is probably the best basis that they could have taken. Had they gone to Toyota, maybe it would have been better. However, I don't think Fiat could have done as good of a job had they done this from the ground up. I don't think it would have been as good.
They would have had to redevelop a whole platform. That's why it wouldn't have been as good.
There would have been some massive compromise somewhere, because they saved a boatload of money doing it this way.
That's why they did it this way.
Of course they did.
It's because they wanted it to be good too. And so they realized that in order for them to do it good, it would probably cost them $60,000 a car.
Oh my God.
To design a chassis specific for this from the ground up, instead of just utilizing one that already existed.
Imagine paying $60,000 for something with this motor.
It's not worth it. Great motor, not worth $60,000.
Yeah, it's fine for $30,000. I want to drive one of these in a stick, really, really bad, just to see how it does compare to the Miatas that I have driven before. Because then that's a real accurate head-to-head comparison of just the motor and possible slight suspension tweaks.
Yep.
So those are our thoughts on both 124s, both vintage and the current gen. Hope you all have enjoyed this video. We sure as hell have enjoyed making it.
Yes.
And welcome to 2020.
I know.
We don't know what exactly this year is entailed.
Because coronavirus has become a thing.
I didn't want this to be all about coronavirus, because I wanted this to be actually a useful video and not completely date the video, but that is what's going on right now. We don't know if we'll be allowed out of our homes for much longer. So
we wanted to take advantage while we could.
Yes, exactly. We hope you have enjoyed this video and our last California video.
Yes, I know it was a long one. Thank you for those who slogged through and watched the whole thing.
My God, thank you so much. And thank you to Brandon and Gavin who have joined us on this adventure. Thank you all for watching. And now that we're done with the MULA video, we'll
have more stuff coming your way.
More time to make podcasts. So go check us out on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, all the shit. And we'll get back into the swing of things with that. But until then,
I've been Justin.
I've been Gavin. And this has been the Exhibition of Speed. Have a great day.